Because I remember Googling or being on Wikipedia or something, and there was like Ranveer Singh is one of the highest paid, most acclaimed Indian actors who's also known for his flamboyant fashion. I was like, when did this make it to the one liner of me? I don't want.
Imagine you're just dreaming about your Hindi film debut and you land your first film with a production company that actors can only dream of. Yash Raj Films. You would think that only the sky is the limit, and while every YRF debut has not really led to the formation of stars, it does catapult you in the commercial limelight, an initial push in one's career that actors hugely benefit from. I remember when the initial snippets of Band Baja Barat had dropped, and there was little to no buzz around it. So much so that even the director Manish Sharma had prepared himself to deal with the case of this film, barely causing any waves in the country.
I think when I was making Band Baja Barat, I think everybody told me कि यार ये क्या लड़का है, क्या बना रहे हो तुम ये पिक्चर, ये लड़का है क्यों पिक्चर के अंदर, you know, and I'm like यार मतलब मुझे तो सब ठीक लग रहा है मुझे नहीं समझ में आ रहा आप किस पे रिएक्ट कर रहे हो. Film is not out yet.
Yeah.
Okay. So and while we are approaching the release date, signs were clear that we gonna. In fact, Band Baja was probably the lowest Friday Yash Raj had ever seen.
What's even more interesting or rather depressing is that the young actors who were featuring in the movie were already discarded even before having the opportunity to create an impression with their initial films. Someone as influential as Karan Johar being unapologetically not a fan of Aditya Chopra's choices.
I want to tell you a true story.
Yeah.
I saw your audition. I said you can't take this girl.
I know that. I was so hurt.
I said
I was so
I
hurt.
said you cannot take this.
Karan,
cannot.
Johar.
And I saw you and I said you can't take this.
However, the slow burn trickling impact that the film had instantly created a connection with the audience, and it had a lot to do with the two main actors, especially Ranveer Singh as Bittu, who absolutely lit up the screen. You would generally think this is a Delhi boy born and brought up in the capital city, hence the conviction of his diction and desi delivery. But little did we know this is a privileged Mumbai boy who had genuinely worked on his craft. What followed was a career of a few misses but exponential growth as the years went by, of not only commercial success but huge critical acclaim. So what is the reason why such a talented and busy actor finds himself in a dead end of sorts? What has led to one of the busiest actors in the industry to be embroiled in just a list of shelved or cancelled projects? Ranveer Singh, like many actors in the Hindi film industry, took his time to get a solid footing in the industry. When he was doing roles in films like Ladies vs. Ricky Behel, Kill Dil and Gunde, the doubts did creep in with the audience on whether he is the real deal he so promised with his debut. These missteps are also a part and parcel of the acting game and making it big as a star, something that his contemporaries have dealt with also. With projects like Golio Ki Ras Leela, Ram Leela, Lutera and Baji Rao Mastani, one was reassured that the sky is going to be the limit for the man. Ranveer Singh at one point of time experienced a dream run in Hindi cinema, a run hugely benefiting from the long-standing relationship he shared with Sanjay Leela Bansali, but also clear proof that he had a range unlike many commercial stars. He could bring a naivety and subtleness in a contemporary film like Dil Dhadakne Do, while being absolutely a heartless savage in a period epic like Padmavat. Often dismissed as a ball of uncontrollable energy, Ranveer could bring an understated zeal, much needed in a film like Gully Boy, but also have the absolute conviction required in the massy avatar of Simba in a Rohit Shetty film. What, however, has followed in and out of the pandemic, I believe is something that Ranveer has never experienced and something that he just did not anticipate. No matter what anyone thinks of Ranveer Singh off camera, the range and conviction he brings to his roles is praiseworthy. I think most of the discourse around him sadly became about the perceived notion that we have of him due to his antics versus anything to do what he brings to the craft in front of camera. Think of it like the discussion around Rajkumar Rao, sadly being restricted to his face and the alterations he may have made, but nothing to do with the spectacular performance he brings to an earnest film like Shrikant. As Ranveer's commercial viability increased tenfold, we saw him more than Akshay Kumar films. We saw him at live events, advertisements, hoardings, wedding sangeets, doubling down on what he described on Coffee with Karan while sharing the couch with Khiladi Kumar.
I don't like to see money getting wasted. मुझे देखो, शादी है, मैं नाच रहा हूँ, बर्थडे है, मैं नाच रहा हूँ, मुंडन है, बच्चा रो रहा है, मैं नाच रहा हूँ.
Would be at one instance in Dubai attending an NBA celebrity exhibition match and would land up in the UK to speak about the facilities in Tottenham Stadium while being an Arsenal fan. The number of irrelevant awards kept on increasing, the saturation of film awards made people slightly weary of why Ranveer gets emotional with these laurels, knowing very well that they have lost the shine that once existed. 83 just did not resonate with the masses despite all its efforts. Jayesh Bhai Jordar came and went and no one noticed, and Circus was an abomination in terms of storytelling. Nothing was working in Ranveer's favour, and one wondered whether Ranveer is mimicking the qualities of an influencer rather than an actor. This has brought us the situation today. With 3 back-to-back commercial failures, can most producers just not afford Ranveer? Is the risk to reward ratio just not worth it? More importantly, is this a reality check for Ranveer to pivot and surrender to the vision of directors versus feeling like he needs to be packaged as a star, something that he only perceives? The number of projects that Ranveer has signed, announced, and that have either been cancelled or are in limbo are alarming. Ranveer opposite Vicky Kaushal with the tale of Dara Shekho and Aurangzeb in the movie titled Takht, directed by Karan Johar. There was intense prep work that went into the film, but the project and the scale it demanded was too large for Dharma to bear another risk like Brahmastra. While Karan Johar himself admits that its abandonment is due to logistical reasons, we all know why the film will never become a reality and why the fear of how the audience will perceive such a story is warranted. As a producer, a film which had so much potential in terms of what the actors could bring to the table will sadly never become a reality. The celebrated Sanjay Leela Bhansali and Ranveer Singh collaboration were attempting a 4th film in the form of Baiju Bawra. The case of playing the tragic musician could have accounted a beautiful canvas of classical music and a performance that would really demand a lot from an emotional and technical POV from any actor. Who better than Ranveer Singh, who is known to invest so much for his roles, and apparently due to creative differences and with Bhansali moving on to Love and War, this project also seems shelved. You've got the announcement of Shaktimaan, which was heavily rumoured to have cast Ranveer Singh in the lead role and apparently was being directed by Basil Joseph. This Sony project and the collaboration of these specific artists was hinted at when Tovino was thanking Ranveer for his kind words for Minnal Murli. But Mukesh Khanna, who has stake in the IP of Shaktimaan, was strictly against this becoming a possibility, which makes me believe that this is another edition of announcements that happened without any concrete plans of where and who to go with. Much like the mess that you are seeing with a project like Welcome to the Jungle, where so many actors are announced to be a part of the film, there are literal walkouts happening due to creative differences, and there seems to be no concrete plan of where the story is headed. A reality of most big ensemble cast projects, where people just land up on set, improvise, throw some gags and punchlines around, and make a sorry attempt to make a cohesive screenplay. A film like the Aparichit remake with Shankar was announced, and it did not even take long for it to be embroiled in controversy, as the original producers were strictly against Shankar moving on with their IP with other producers and a fresh casting. This project that is so iconic for not only Tamil but Hindi cinema viewers also got scrapped even before it could materialize or go on set. With Shankar working on Indian and Game Changer, there is no way this project comes into fruition. Prashant Verma, just out of the success of Hanuman, planning to create several IPs so that he can create his own superhero universe, had roped in Ranveer Singh for one of his movies. Everyone thought that this was locked and loaded. A film titled Rakshas featuring Ranveer, it would really account for a fun superhero film. And it's rumored that Ranveer even shot a teaser with the makers in Hyderabad. But due to several creative differences, both the creator and actor have parted ways, and Rakshas is also shelved. Now the only hope remains with a massive film like Dawn 3, a lukewarm announcement of an epic franchise that one anticipated would only be revived with Shah Rukh Khan. One still puts faith in an actor like Ranveer Singh to prove himself, but the question remains, after a shelved project like Jile Zara, is Farhan Akhtar, the director, really motivated to get this project on floors? Is the pursuit of his world tour singing and even signing the Amir Khan project as the lead actor? Is his lack of laser focus approach towards the art of directing, something that we initially fell in love with him for, going to hamper Dawn 3 and keep this in limbo too? I hear that it's going to go on shooting in 2025, but is it really? Sadly, only time will tell. But it does reflect on the unpredictable nature of this career, where you could be the busiest and in demand actor in one moment, and in another, find yourself at crossroads when nothing seems to materialize.